I kept going beep, 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 and then boom, boom.
R2D2. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, beep.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Eric here, back with Mom once again.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome back. We are marching into a theme for our next bunch of videos here. We're kicking things off with this one in our theme. This time around, we're going to be checking out a producer for the first time in a while. Actually, I think the first theme that we did was the first theme we did Neptunes. I think that was the first one that we did too.
Yeah.
But obviously going to be a completely different producer this time around, and somebody that you, I believe, are pretty familiar with. We're going to be checking out beats from Timbaland. Are you familiar with Timbaland? What do you know about Timbaland?
I can't think right now what the song is. The original one that I first heard him, and he was really good.
Yeah,
but
so
I don't remember.
He's originally out of Virginia, most known as a producer, but he has been kind of an artist as well. He initially was kind of known for working with like Missy Elliott, Aaliyah early on, guys like Jay-Z, and then other hip-hop artists. Probably in more recent years, you would most know him for working with Justin Timberlake.
Right.
So he did like Cry Me a River on the first album, and then Justin's second album, I want to say he either produced the whole thing or like the majority of it, but like Sexy Back and like pretty much every good song you heard off his second album would have been produced by Timbaland. And they've pretty much continued working together, whatever, Justin's latest work was. So that's probably what you would most know him for. But like some of his biggest songs was Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On, or Work It. Is it worth it? Let me work it. Yeah, you would definitely know a bunch of his music. And he had some of his own music was like kind of big. I can't remember what year it was, but a few years ago he had an album called like Shock Value 2, I think. And he had a bunch of songs like Something the Way That You Are, the way. And he had another song with Justin and like Nelly Furtado on there.
That's who I was trying. I kept trying to pull her name out. That's where my
he did the song Promiscuous with her that was really popular. So very well known producer. He's was known at this point the times that I'm referencing more for like hard bass hits and just very innovative. So we're going to be kicking things off with Jay-Z's Dirt Off Your Shoulder. This is from the Black Album in 2003, the second single off that album. Somehow we have managed to get to this point and not check out any Jay-Z songs. I don't know how that's happened because that's my favorite rapper of all time.
Really?
The only one that we've heard was the one that he did with Biggie, but it was technically a Biggie song, and it was I Love the Dough. So this is going to be the first Jay-Z song that we're checking out on the channel. Does Dirt Off Your Shoulder sound familiar at all?
No, not at all.
You may or may not know this one. You may have like heard the chorus before, but again, this was from 03, Jay-Z's retirement album, which obviously was not his retirement, but my favorite rap album of all time. So enough talking from me. We are going to get right into it. It's Dirt Off Your Shoulder from 2003.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest. Turn the music up in the headphones. Tim, you can go and brush your shoulders off, nigga.
If you know this is this chorus part.
Yeah, if you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go and brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go and brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you get that. Dirt up your shoulders. I probably owe it to y'all. Probably be locked by the force. Trying to hustle some things that go with the Porsche. Feeling no remorse. Feeling like my hand was forced. Middle finger to the law, nigga, gripping my balls. Said the ladies, they love me. From the bleachers, they screaming. All the ballers is bouncing. They like the way I be leaning. All the rappers be hating. Hope the track that I'm making. But all the hustlers, they love it. Just to see one of us making. Came from the bottom to the top of the pops. Nigga, London, Japan, and I'm straight off the block. Like a running back, get it, man, I'm straight off the block. I can run it back, nigga, cause I'm straight with the rock. If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, gon' brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, gon' brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you, kid. That, dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid. That, dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid. That, dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid.
Yeah, you know it.
I know it.
You got a kid.
I don't remember where it started.
Dirt up your shoulder, your homie.
All right, we'll pause there. So have you heard this before? Does that sound familiar at all? But you know the Dirt Off Your Shoulder thing, obviously.
Yeah.
So you picking up what I mean? Kind of like, it's kind of like a hard bass hit, and then there's a lot of synthesizer and stuff in there. There's a really cool clip that you can find on YouTube. It's from a documentary. I think it was called Fade to Black, but it was all about this big concert that Jay-Z was having at Madison Square Garden, and it was supposed to be like his retirement, his last album. So they kind of documented the making of the Black Album and him working with Timbaland on this, and it's just Timbaland playing a bunch of different beats, and basically telling him like to pick one out, essentially. And it's funny because one of the beats that he passes on ends up getting used for a Ludacris song later on. But Timbaland puts this song on, and you can just like see it in Jay-Z's face that like that's the song, because he just hears it and he's just like, you can just see the wheels turning.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the chorus from this comes from the way Timbaland was acting during that, like, because they show clips of it and he's dancing and he's doing this and he's like, call me Ric Flair, I'm the greatest, but he's doing the Dirt Off Your Shoulder thing. So that's where the chorus comes from. We might have to show you some clips or something of that documentary. It's pretty good. It's like a mix between a documentary and a concert, because they'll show a lot of stuff from the concert as well. But let's jump back in here.
In position in the kitchen with soda. I just whipped up a watch, trying to get me a rover, trying to stretch out the coca like a wrestler. Yes sir, keep the heckler close. You know them smokers are Tesha, but like 52 cars went out. I'm through dealing now. 52 bars come out. Now you feel them now. 52 cars roll out. Remove ceiling in case 52 bras come out. Now you chillin' with a boss, bitches cards FC on the sleeve. Acting 40-40 club ESPN on the screen. I play the grip for the jeans. Plus the slippers is clean, no chrome on the wheels. I'm a grown-up for real. She feeling like a pimp, nigga. Gon' brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too. Gon' brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby. Don't forget that boy told you, kid. That turn up your shoulder, you got a kid.
I'm not sure.
Turn up your shoulder, you got a kid. That turn up your shoulder, you got a kid.
Yeah, I'm
Turn up
mad.
your shoulder, you got a kid. Turn up your shoulder, boy, back in the building. Brooklyn, we back on the map. Me and my beautiful bees in the back of the back. I'm the realest to run it. I just happen to rap. I ain't got a clap at them. Niggas scared of that black. I dropped that black album, then I back out it as the best rapper alive. Nigga acts about me from bricks to billboards,
that line
grams to Grammys, the O's the opposite. Orphan Annie, you got a part in chain.
Talking
For
about how he
selling out
made
the
money off
garden
of
in the day. I'm like a young Marvin in his hay. I'm a hustler, homie. You a customer crony. Got some dirt on my shoulder. Could you brush it off for me? If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, gon' brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too. Gon' brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby. Don't forget that boy told you, kid. That dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid. That dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid. That dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid. That dirt up your shoulder, you got a kid. That dirt up your shoulder.
Now it's like
Now talking to the motherfucking greatest.
Now it's like just Timbaland just having fun basically with it.
Good stuff, yeah.
He's just messing with it.
Best rapper alive.
Best rapper alive.
At this point when this come out, yeah. 'Cause Eminem was not who he was at this point. Alright, we'll stop there. That was Dirt Off Your Shoulder by Jay-Z. Just a couple other things we were talking about during there. So he references basically making money off of Orphan Annie. You didn't know what he was talking about there?
No.
So he's talking about the song that he had done in previous years. It's a hard knock life for us.
I see,
It's
okay.
a hard... You
Yeah.
must have heard that
Of
before,
course
I'm
I have.
sure. Or at least the sample part.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then the other line, it was like, I'm the best rapper alive, acts about me. And that sample, like that one line is sampled for another hip-hop song by a guy named Cassidy called I'm a Hustler, which the whole chorus is, I'm a hustler, it's all Jay-Z lines, like, to comprise the chorus.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff came out of this. Like I said, this album was huge. A lot of rappers look back on this like it's one of the best ever. Like, this is my favorite hip-hop album of all time. But as for Dirt Off Your Shoulder, what did you think about that one overall?
I think the beep 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 in the
The beep
hard,
beep beep. Was R2D2 producing?
It was overwhelming, the song.
All the noises and the synths and
Yeah,
everything.
it was like boom, boom,
Was it just
boom.
too many, or
Yeah, it was too much. It was too loud.
or was it like the mixture of that with the hard kind of bass?
I think it was louder than his voice. Other ones, when we listen to it, you can actually hear them well. But I think this one, it was very distracting. All that kept going beep, 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 and then boom,
R2D2 beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, beep.
Yeah, him.
All right. Well, I don't know what that means.
Just too loud in the background.
I don't know what that means for the rest of our theme here, because I think a lot of Timbaland's beats are probably that way.
That's okay.
So we'll see if that changes your opinion on any of these other songs. Maybe it's kind of a mixture, or just the way that this one was kind of mastered.
Maybe.
But thus far, we're swinging and missing on the Timbaland songs, even though I know that you are kind of a fan of what you've heard of his thus far. Or maybe it's just the Jay-Z.
Fan of Jay-Z.
I was going to say, maybe it's just the Jay-Z. That was kind of the reason why we have avoided him for so long.
Oh, that's all right. Just do
but
it.
eventually, I have so much Jay-Z, it was going to have to happen.
Yeah,
so we will see if your opinion changes on the next one. We'll be checking out some other artists that you have never heard of before as part of this theme, and some artists that we haven't heard in quite a while.
Okay.
Or people we've only heard a couple of times anyways. Or actually, I think there's one that we've only heard once. So we will have to wait and see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you haven't subbed to the channel yet. Like I said, we will be continuing with some Beats by Timbo next time. So if you want to see which one I'm choosing, because the wheel ain't doing nothing this time around, make sure you come on back for that. But for Mom, I'm Eric once again, and enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you on the next one.